This is a Leviton 0 CCFL Cold Cathode Fluorescent Nightlight. This is like the greatest nightlight in the world. I don't know what the date is. It says AC 120 volts, 60 hertz, 3 watts, made in China, and it is UL listed right there. It has an on-off switch, so that's great. When I first moved into the house, I needed a nightlight of sorts for the upstairs bathroom, and I found some other ones that were kind of similar to this. They had either a switch in the center. I think they were made by GE. I might even have one or two laying around still that don't work anymore. Switch in the center, either on or off, or some of them actually had a light sensor that would tell when it got dark out and it would automatically turn them on. Well, I found that you don't want to get, if you ever find or come across a fluorescent nightlight and you want to use it, first thing you have to realize is that these have finite lifespans. They will eventually die. I don't know how old this thing is. If I had to guess, this has been in service for well over 5 years, probably pushing more like 7, maybe even 8 years at this point. The other ones I had were not cold cathode lights. They were just regular fluorescent tubes, and they use a very cheap driver in here just to get it to light, and like, there you go, there's your Chinese nightlight, and that's it, and blah blah. That's really it. But this cold cathode one has held up. I can't even tell you. And of course, they don't make it anymore. Everything's fucking LED now. LEDs suck. And eventually this thing is going to die and I'm just going to be fucked. I don't know. But what we're going to do is plug it into the watt meter. It's currently turned off. I want to kill the room lights and then I'll fire this up. Now, because this thing has aged greatly, when I turn it on, the light is going to flicker pretty bad for a little bit. So because it's so old, it does have a hard time starting. The watt meter is, I can't really tell on the camera screen if you can read it enough. I'll call out the wattage regardless, but here we go. Very dim, very flickery. It's pulling 1.9 watts at the moment. 2 watts now. I found that if I warm this with a hairdryer very gently first, it will actually light a lot easier. So this is plugged in and left on all the time. Like I was saying earlier with the other nightlight that had the sensor in it, those things would go out, they'd only last maybe a year or so and go out. Yeah, they were cheap. That was one part of it. The other part was it turning on and off every day. Not that good for the bulb. Instead, it's better to just leave it on. So we actually just leave this on all the time. It's currently pulling 2.4 watts, 2.3, 2.4, somewhere in there. And I'm going to leave this for about 5 minutes, and we'll come back and see what the wattage reading is and if it has changed and gotten brighter, which it should. But you'll notice the flickering has gone away. Cold cathode fluorescent, just this, look at this light. It casts everywhere. It's not directional like LED. It just gives a soft glow everywhere in the bathroom. It's been absolutely perfect. And I should have bought like 10 of them, but for some reason I never did. So like I said, I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, and the wattage actually has come down to 2.2 watts, sometimes 2.1. The light is not flickering anymore, and this is it. Like I said, this bulb is very aged, and it is nowhere near as bright as it was originally when brand new. To give you an example of what this looks like here, I'll pick it up. This is the light that it produces. The camera actually makes this appear a lot brighter than it is. It's sort of this odd, dull, yellowish color. And probably a good reason for that is that this diffuser over it is, or has yellowed over the years, is my guess. Maybe not to a degree where you and I can see it, but if you had a brand new one never exposed to UV light. And not for nothing, there is some UV light that is getting out of this bulb and attacking the plastic. You know, that's pretty much what you get. However, I do have something else in the way of cold cathode bulbs that I'll show you now. I bought these, many years ago. I'll have to look up the date. I don't know the exact date, but I could find at least the year for you, which I'll put on screen here. And these are Cold Cathode Fluorescent lights made by Ecosmart. They're 25 watt equivalents using 5 watts, last for 20,000 hours, 9 years, 200 lumens, blah, blah, blah. But you could see the little spiral inside, and it's a very tight, small diameter coil. Really interesting stuff. This also included adapters for candelabra base to standard medium base. The back, made in China, contains mercury. Alert the hazmat team right now. You know, this made a cameo appearance way back in the day from Detergent Day Part 1. I'll put a clip in that right now. It's Earth Day, everybody! Hi! Hi, it's Earth Day! Look, we're being green! I have cold cathode fluorescent and accent LEDs. So now it's time to take one out of the package. I did cut this open and tested at least one of them back in the day. I haven't fired these, I think, since then. So here's a close-up of it. No real information to speak of. Once again, you can see the fluorescent coil there. And it's sort of a mildly frosted. I think it's plastic. Yeah, it sure seems to be plastic. I have an adapter with the candelabra to medium base already in here. And let's plug this in. There we are. Starts off, it's kind of a dull pinkish glow. The original benefit to cold cathode lights was that they pretty much light up, for the most part, brightly right away. And it was supposed to be the new thing. Now, like I said, this bulb has sat around for many years. So it doesn't come as much of a surprise that it's not all the way lit already. It is, I don't think the camera makes it out at all, but it is slowly coming up the coil. I will come back when this finally reaches full brightness. It's currently reading 4.3 watts. We are now at full brightness. 3.7 to 3.8 watts, depending. Try to give you a close-up if the camera will adjust. You can kind of see the coil in there. I can see it better in real life. But certainly pretty nice. Let me kill the lights and show you kind of the light output of it. Oh, much brighter than that nightlight, but you know, it's supposed to be to begin with. If I pick that up, hey, not bad. You know, that puts out certainly way too much for a nightlight, but if I have to, this will be the new one. See, the problem I have in the bathroom up there is that the light switch is one of those light switch outlet combos, kind of like this thing is. You know, where it's a switch on top and the outlet on bottom, but it's the Decora style, same idea. And it's a GFCI, so it's just got a little rocker and it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, that's what's there. And the nightlight, which I have over on the other side there, it doesn't fit nicely because there's a door frame here and it kind of gets in the way, so it sits a little crooked and whatever, but at least it's like a shelf, so you go to reach and you know where the light is, you know, and you can grab it no problem. Whatever, it's there. If I had to go for something like this, I would just get one of those night lights that, you know, just take a candelabra style and point it down. If it's polarized, I'll just grind the plug off, you know, so it's non-polarized, and plug it in and have it point down, because it can't point up, it'll block the switch. But I have some non-cold cathode ones. Cold cathode was supposed to run cooler than regular fluorescence, and it was supposed to start up almost instantly, and all kinds of other wonderful benefits. If I unplug that and plug it back in, it does light right back up, of course, as you'd expect. One other interesting factor that I just saw now, these are dimmable. I don't have a dimmer, unfortunately, to demo that, but you get the idea. Anyway, cold cathode was supposed to be the next big thing, but then LEDs took over, and we're stuck with crap. Hey, I mean, you know, if I bought a pack of these and they're supposed to last 9 years, I'd be happy with 9 years. That's fine. They never lasted 9 years, just like your LED bulbs say 30 years and you get about 2. You know, but I mean, considering that nightlight from before, that thing has lasted, man. It's too bad. I'd really like to get my hands on another one of those. Anyway, thank you for watching. Down to 3.6 watts. Make sure you click like, make sure you click cold cathode, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.